Hello and welcome to this mod spotlight for dynamic crafting systems by Wingsoflife. For any updates on this mod, or if you're looking for something specific, please click the playlist button at the top of the screen now, and you'll find all relevant links for the mod in the description below. So let's get on with it. So to get started with the mod, you'll need to get yourself the crafter block. It's crafted like so, with the gears, with the mod supplies, work table and some redstone. If you look at the GUI here, we've got the crafting grid and the output for the pattern that you put in, a solid fuel slot, and a module slot, and a liquid slot. Now this block does have NEI functionality with shift clicking. Just by shift clicking something, it will imprint into the crafting grid as long as you have the items in your inventory. Now currently when I do this, my game will crash. I'll demonstrate this quickly. So if I get me some oak wood, and if we get the recipe for a chest and we shift click it in, and the game crashes. And I thought I'd continue recording, but it didn't record, so loaded the game back up, and as you can see, nothing happened apart from a crash. So once that feature's been put in, it'll be quite useful, but currently it's bugged, at least for me, and I have just the basic mods installed. As you can see there, it's not a mod pack, it's my custom pack with up-to-date mods, and NEI is currently up to date as well. So moving on from that, if we get some wood here, you'll see that the crafter has the ability to equally distribute the materials, like so. But notice that because there's no redstone signal to turn it off, it'll auto craft as long as it has the resources. Now this moves me on to another bug, that some of these items that it spits out just can't be picked up, which is a little bit annoying. So if you're setting up a crafter this way, make sure you either have a chest next to it, because it will pull and push items to and from this chest, or have yourself a lever and give it a redstone signal. So if I get me some more wood and spread it out now, because the redstone signal is on, it won't output, or it won't craft, sorry. So if we turn that off, it will put the items into the chest rather than spit them out. So keep that in mind as well. So now I'm going to move on to how to set one up in a basic sense. So if you get your crafter, place it down in the world, and here I'm going to make some planks. Note that the redstone signal is on, so the crafter will not craft. So all you need to do is put your recipe into the grid, it will show you the output, and then you put a chest, or a chest or an inventory next to the crafter for it to pull from. So in this case I've supplied it with oak wood, and it will pull from the chest and craft the planks. And it will do that operation once every 2 seconds, as you can see here. So in this part we'll move on to showing you how to set up the crafting templates. So they're in tiers, and there's 5 tiers here, and each tier that you go up requires the first tier in its crafting recipe. So here we have paper, lapis and sticks for the first one, and the second tier requires that blank crafting template in order to be made. Now they're in tiers, but all it means is that you can have multiple templates within an inventory. So here we have 3, and each one corresponds to a different recipe. So in this example we have the first one making wood planks, the second one making the wall, and the third one combining them to make some beds. We also have these quantity checkers here, and I'll go into that after this. So with the crafting template, if you grab yourself a template, or make one even, and then the only thing you need to do to set it up is to place your recipe within the crafter, and then right click with the template, and it will change the tooltip there into the recipe that you set out. And then all you have to do now is, if I just set up a new example here, turn it off. If you place the crafting template into the inventory with the materials that make that craft, if we turn that on now, oh sorry, you need to make yourself a schematic upgrade, like so, and then place it into one of the upgrade slots. And now that will search for an adjacent inventory and the materials, and in this case the recipe, which is the template here, and as long as the materials are there, it will craft and place the output back into the chest. We have some more wood. I'll show you how fast this happens. So that's pretty quick, and yeah, pretty useful. So if we go back to here, I'll just reiterate that this one makes the planks and it pulls the items out of this inventory, and then this one will make the wool from the string, and then this one will combine them to make the beds. Now if you have multiple steps in a recipe and you want to craft something, that's where the different tiers come in. So there's only 3 steps to make a bed, hence the 3 tiers of the crafting templates. So now I'm going to move on to the quantity checkers. These are pretty simple. So if we get the item itself here. So in order to set up the quantity checker, place the recipe into the grid. Make sure there's no upgrade modules in the crafting, in the crafter block, and then you just right click the crafter with the quantity checker in your hand, and it will update the tooltip telling you that it's searching for crafting tables and how many. Now to tell it how many you want it to look for or keep stock of, because that's ultimately what this item does, just right click and input any amount into here. So we'd say 24, and place it in this chest along with the crafting table crafting template, and we put some in there. Now if we put some wood in, it will only keep 24 crafting tables within this chest once I put the schematic back in and remove the recipe. And there we go. So every time you pull out, it will always keep 24 in there. Run out of wood there. There we go. Get some more wood and just show you again. So it's a pretty cool feature. So if we go back to this chest, we can see that I've told it to keep 10 beds in the inventory and a stack of oak wood and a stack of 15 wool. So if we remove some wool and obviously turn the machine on, and I need to get my schematic back. So you have to have this schematic in there for it to use the templates. So there we got our wool back. So if I pull out a bed, it will make another one, and so forth. It's pretty cool if you ask me. So I'm just going to go over another crash issue. Like I said earlier, if you right click the crafter with a quantity checker while there's an upgrade in here, it will crash your game and has the chance to corrupt your world, and therefore it gets automatically deleted. And this has happened on a few occasions while I was trying to test this mod and play around with it. So just keep that in mind at the moment, and I'm sure Wings of Life will look into it when he has some time. So let's move on to some of the upgrades that you can put into your crafter. I'll just turn this machine off a second. So you can turn these crafters into a smelter just by putting the auto smelter upgrade in. You can see there it has a module cost of 15, and these crafters have a cap of 50. So keep that in mind. I'll explain that a bit further on, but for now just bear that in mind. This module, as Mark 1, will do a smelting operation every 3 seconds, and it will burn fuel in half the normal time, and it also only uses solid fuels. So that's the solid fuel slot. That's where you'd put your coal, charcoal, wood or whatever. Another step that you need to turn your crafter into a furnace is by placing a furnace within the crafting grid, and then the item that you wish to smelt anywhere. You can put these anywhere, doesn't matter. And then put your input output chest next to the crafter, obviously with the materials that you're smelting, and then turn it on, and you'll see that it will start to cook. The next upgrade will be the Mark II, Auto Smelter Mark II, and now this one can use solid fuels or lava. Now I'll get to the lava bit in a second here. This module costs 25 now, and will do a smelting operation in 1.5 seconds, and again burn the fuel in half the normal time. So it's the same setup, just a little bit quicker and a little bit more cost on the module. Like so. Also note that the fuel can be piped in using Buildcraft or Thermal Expansion. So now we'll move on to the lava side of things. I'll show you here. We're using the Auto Smelting Mark II because the Mark 1 only uses solid fuels. I'm going to take that out for now. I'll go over this module later. So there is a bug with this. I'll quickly show you the bug. If we get some fluid pipe here and start piping in our lava, you'll see the liquid tank start filling up, sorry. And everything's cool. It will start cooking the ingots. Now the bug occurs when the lava fills up and reaches capacity. So I'm going to cut the video here and get back to you when that happens. Okay, the lava's almost filled up now. So now we've reached the cap. If I exit this GUI and try to interact with any tile now, I can't, it won't let me open anything. Now I can break things and stuff like that. But the only way to resolve this is by quitting the game. And when you exit the game, Minecraft will then crash and you'll have to restart the client. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll be back in a second. So after the crash, when I loaded back up, in order to stop it from doing that again, the minute that you get back on, you need to destroy this block. Otherwise it's going to continually not let you interact with any other inventory. So in the meantime, I'd suggest not using any lava to smelt your ores or other materials. So now on to the next upgrade. We have the Smelter Doubling Mark 1, module cost of 5 and a 33% chance to double your ores or output. So if we have our iron ore in our input chest there and turn it on, we can see there's a double there and a double there. If we change that out for, let's say, some cobble and change the recipe and give it some material, we can see it also doubles, it basically doubles your smelting operations, which is awesome. The next one would be the Mark II, which goes up in module cost. It's now 15 and has a 50% chance. So if we turn it on, oh, it was already on. Let's put some more ore in there, and we'll see it double like that. And the third and final tier, the Mark III, now costs 25 but has a 100% chance to double the output, and it also doubles your dusts. So before, or with other mods, you normally just double the ore by macerating or pulverizing, but now you can double up again by cooking them with one of these crafters. The next two upgrades are the inventory search and item push upgrades. They both have a module cost of 25. The inventory search will look along the network using this Dynamic Crafting System's own cable. This is actually called cable in NEI here. What this essentially does is tells the crafter that this inventory is full, so it'll move along the network, and here it says, okay, this inventory is full as well, and it'll keep going until it finds a valid inventory with the items that it's requesting. So here it's requesting the wood planks to make a chest, and the item push will push the items that are crafted into an inventory that already has the items within it. So if this didn't have any chests in it, it wouldn't know what to do with the chests. I've got a system set up here that says if the inventory is full, emit a red pipe signal, and down here it says if there's a red pipe signal that's on, emit a redstone signal. That turns the crafter off. Now if this system wasn't in place, the crafter will continuously pull the wood from the barrel and make chests, and regardless if this chest is full or not, it will continue to make them chests and will eventually spit them out all over the floor. And we saw earlier that if that happens, then sometimes the items can't be picked up for now until it gets fixed. So that's why I've put this system here. So now if I pull out a chest, it will make me a new chest, and if I pull out a few more, it will continue to make some chests until the inventory is full. Now you can see that it's doing a 2-second operation, and we haven't got enough module cost left to put a speed upgrade in, but I'll show you how you can get around that later. I'm going to show you another use for the item push with a similar setup that we had earlier with the bed producing. So now I have my input chest here to tell it to craft everything that we need. So that's the planks, the wall, and the beds, and then the quantity checkers. So I'm telling it to keep 64 of wood and wool within this chest, and to only craft 10 beds. Now the bed crafting template and the quantity checker need to be in the input chest. The crafter will know what to do with the bed. So here I've set up that I want the output to be here. Let me turn it on. And the module that's doing that is this advanced item push. Because there's a bed in this chest over here, it knows that, oh, okay, we need to put beds here. So every time I pull out a bed, it will make a new one. Obviously making beds is not a practical thing, but I was just demonstrating something that needed 3 steps. Onto the module cost reduction mechanic. You can reduce the cost of the module. So if we see here, we have a like we saw earlier, sorry, we had 25 on the item push and 25 on the inventory search. So that's maximum for the crafter here. if the module cost goes over, the crafter will just not operate. So in order to get ourselves a speed upgrade in there, all you need to do is take your high costing module, place it into a crafting grid, and then either take some iron, gold or diamond. I'll place up the table in a second here to show you the percentage amount that the block type can reduce the module by, and then take your block type and place it alongside the module and pull it out. So now we can see that the module cost is 5 rather than 25, which gives us the ability to place our speed upgrade in. So we take the old one out and put the new one in along with the speed upgrade, and this operation will be a lot faster. So if we pull or make some space, we can see that the chests are crafted a lot quicker. So I'm going to show you a quick application for dynamic crafting systems. So if we imagine that my quarry is out mining, it gets sorted and put into my item storage. I've used the dynamic crafting systems cables to connect to my storage, and I've told it that to use an advanced inventory search, so it will search up the network. The chest is included in the network for the items needed. The schematic here, which will tell the crafter that we need a crafting template, and this crafting template says 2 sand and 1 apatite equals fertilizer. And we also have a quantity checker here, which tells the crafter that I want a stock of 24 fertilizer, and then that fertilizer gets pushed using the advanced item push module into this chest here because it already contains fertilizer. So that's the setup for dynamic crafting systems. Here we have a forestry farm with the fertilizer needed and a buildcraft logic system that I quickly set up. This logic gate says that if the inventory contains less than 25% fertilizer, emit a red pipe signal, and this gate says if you receive a red pipe signal, emit an energy pulse, which will pull the fertilizer out of the chest, and the crafter will refill the chest with fertilizer by pulling items from my item storage. So let's see that in action quickly. And pull some out. The pipe signal goes on and the fertilizer gets pulled out, and the crafter will restock the chest. Now it's a little bit over because 2 sand, 1 apatite equals 4 fertilizer. But yeah, that's a basic setup using this mod. I'm sure you guys will come up with something a bit more extravagant. But for now, that's all I have to say on the mod. Check out the description below for the links to get the mod, and don't forget the wiki page. There's a lot of useful information there. So I'm going to thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.